I'm Chris Ario, and I will be talking about Eudat collaborative data infrastructure that services that CSC is providing for our customers. So, okay. Yeah, and this is just a comparison about where actually we work. We are more concentrated on the registered data domain. So we provide some services based for personal workspace, just a little, and some we have some services also for the published domain. But basically, we work within the registered data domain. Just a simple, because Eudat now we have Eudat Limited, which is registered in Finland, and CSC is the capital or the headquarter of Eudat Limited, and these are our partners in this Eudat company across Europe. So I'm going to look at what are the CDI services, the suite of services we have. We have B2 access, B2 drop, B2 find, B2 share, B2 save, B2 handle, B2 stage, and B2 note. And this is how they tie up together. We can see that B2 access is the user management layer, and we have the data management and preservation layer, data management, B2 handle for the PIDs and DOIs. We have B2 save for data replication across centers. We have B2 stage for moving data from one place to another and into computation. And we have the data access and sharing layer. B2 drop, which is based on Nextcloud. And we have B2 share that is based on Invenio, and B2 note for annotating B2 share metadata, adding more, and of course, to find data registered in Eudat systems, we have B2 find. I will go quickly on all of this one just to mention a few things about them. Okay, who can use our services? We have single researcher, a team of researchers, or a community. And what are the type? What are these our services? We have generic services supplied by Eudat for public use. So that means B2 share, we have the published version of B2 share. We have the public version of B2 save, and we have the public version of B2 drop. B2 share, the public version is available in CSC. B2 drop from Jülich in Germany. B2 save in Cineca in Italy. So, but we can also interact with you, our customers, on a different level. By coming to us, we could provide these services to you. You know, modified services that you can use for your own purposes. I will just give a very simple example. For example, if we look at the basic services and premium services, what does it entail? If you look at the basic services, you have, okay, you can upload research data, persistent identifiers, PIDs, and DOIs. We have REST API. We have openly accessible, harvestable metadata, and federated by AI, which is B2 access. The rest, we have limited storage capacity, and support is Eudat generic, whatever that means. So, and we look at the B2 share premium, so that means we can customize it to fit your own desires and so on and so forth. So apart from that, we can include possibility for harvesting from Edson, which probably maybe in the future, if the Ministry of Education wants that all your publications has to be seen, even if it is in Eudat specify one, we'll be able to, and we can log in using Hacker, B2 Access, and ORCID. Customer branded, we make it to be your own look. And then we can make it Inspire compatible. It's extensible storage as much as you want. You buy as you go. And then the support, the very popular non-CSE personnel that will support you through all this. These are some of our customers and partners across the research fields. Okay, we look B2 access. B2 access is basically, that is what we use for authenticating to any of the B2 services. That means Eudat services. And it supports all of our systems, not even only all the services that are available. Some of them, even the ones support services, we use B2 access to connect to them. And this is where we have the opportunity, the EduGain. We have EduGain, which is where we have Hacker to be able to use Hacker connected to this one to be able to connect. Then we have B2 Drop. This is based on Nextcloud technology. So it's basically a Dropbox type of data that you can share across, not only in Finland, across other parts of the world, so that we can cooperate and work on the same research data. And maybe at the end, when you have finished with it, you can publish it directly from here to B2Share. B2Find, that's all the data that is stored on B2Share is harvested by B2Find. And harvesting also, B2Find also harvests from some of our partners their metadata. And in the future, also be able to harvest from B2Save metadata, and where you search, then you will see where the data you are looking for, you say where it is available. And then you can always go to the landing page. B2Save, this is basically meant for bigger data storage. And the specialty here is that this is based on iRods. The specialty here is that we can replicate your data not only within CSC, we can replicate it across Europe, not outside European. And it's all the data is subjected to European laws. So we can, if you want your data to be in 3 places, we can replicate it maybe to Germany, to Italy, to Spain, or wherever we have agreements to do that. Then B2Share, this is the platform for publishing data. It's based on Invenio that is developed by CERN. It's actually the same code base as, what is the name again? Zenodo, yeah. It's actually the same code base as Zenodo. But you know, the other problem is that the other challenge or the advantage with us is that your data is safe. There's nothing, nowhere where it's small printed that if the data disappears, it disappears. You have the support of CSC, you know, so CSC backing for your data. So, and as I said, if you have your data in B2 Drop, in which you work across Europe or across the world with partners that you are trying to publish something, either you publish it directly from B2 Drop, you can actually come here and say, okay, now I want to publish, and then you can point to B2 Drop and say, the data is there, and then to pull it in and publish it. Of course, here you need to fill in your metadata. And if you have the premium version of B2Share, we can customize the metadata that they need to be filled in. B2Node, because metadata have standards. And going outside of the standards is a little bit challenging. So that's where we have B2Node to add more information to your metadata by annotating your data. So you have more information, you can add more. It doesn't disturb the metadata, it can be harvested, it can be compatible with all the things we want, but here you can add more information to your data. And B2Stage, you know, this is a service, you can't buy this one directly. For example, this is a supporting service. This is for moving data from one point to another using REST API. We have HTTP API in which we can use to move data into all the Eudat services when there's need to. And not only there, we can actually move it from Eudat services to computation, for example, for CSC to be used on our computational systems. B2Handle provides the PIDs and possibility of a DOI also. So we provide this one for all the platforms that we have. We don't have PIDs for B2Drop. No DOIs. We have PIDs for all data on B2Share and B2Save. And we have DOI for all publications on B2Share. So whatever you publish there, you can always come back to it. You can quote it anywhere. You can do your publication somewhere and point to this particular DOI. And one of the services that CSC at the moment, you can see it on the list of Eudat services. So one of the things we are developing at the moment is data subscription service. It's such that this particular service that we are developing at the moment, is useful. For example, I'll give a very simple example. For example, the people working in marine research. So if you have a map of Finland somewhere in Oulu region, and you are interested in probably what is the temperature of the water, the salinity or whatever, and then you have it, you can, with this service, when it's ready, we provide it for you. You can actually select an area on the map and say, okay, this is what I'm interested in. And then you get the data, it can actually automatically put this data into computation for you. So we do the computation, and then you can go and rest assured and concentrate on your research. If there's a change of data for that particular area, you are going to be notified. Or if you want not only notification, but okay, when you have new data, notify me, and then please put this one to computation again, to the same things you have done, and it will do that. Okay, some of the major questions that people might ask is that, how do I join CDI? Eudat CDI. You can join, it's possible. So any community can join, be a member of the CDI. You saw all the lists that we have here. Okay, there are two possibilities. One is making an interoperable, the CDI web. That means you own your data, you own your systems, you just make your publication system accessible for us to be able to collect metadata, to harvest metadata. As I told you about B2Find, it's not only collecting metadata from our systems, it also collects from our partners that are in this form of this interoperable mode. The other one is complete integration, integrated. That means we use the same software base. You can set up your own B2Drop, B2Share, and then we connect all of them together across Europe. And that is my presentation. Thank you. If you have